Have you ever felt like you're doing absolutely everything right? I mean, you're counting every single calorie. You're dragging yourself to the gym, but that number on the scale just refuses to move? It is so frustrating, and it's a super common problem. So today, we're going to dig into the real science of why it feels like your own body is fighting you.
Yeah, it's that feeling, right? You're just stuck. You're putting in all this work, saying no to the foods you love, you're hungry all the time, and for what? The scale is just stubborn. It honestly feels like you're in a battle with yourself. And it's kind of like your body's engine. Your metabolism has just slammed on the brakes and slowed down to a crawl. But here's the thing, and this is so important. It's not just a feeling. It's not in your head. The science is actually showing us that this kind of old-school calorie counting can literally trigger your metabolism to slow way down.
Okay, so let's get into it. Here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll talk about this weight loss paradox. Basically, why eating less can totally backfire. Then, we'll look at the damage that these kinds of diets can do, especially losing muscle instead of fat. After that, we'll get into a whole new way of thinking, the cellular reset. We'll even explore how food is literally information for your body, and we'll wrap up by showing you how to become your own body's expert.
All right, first up, the weight loss paradox. This is all about why just eating less can sometimes work completely against you. It sounds counterintuitive, I know.
We've all heard it a million times. Calories in, calories out. It seems so logical, so simple. But what if that's just not the full picture? See, your body is way smarter than we give it credit for. When you start eating less for a while, it doesn't just happily start burning fat. No, it thinks, whoa, famine is coming, and it hits the emergency brake. It goes into survival mode to save energy.
And you know what that survival mode feels like? It feels like being hungry all the time. It feels like being so tired you can barely function. And it definitely feels like that stubborn weight that just will not come off. Your body is trying to protect you, but in the process, it's sabotaging your goals. And that's why the weight comes rushing back the second you stop dieting.
So, let's talk about what's really going on under the hood, because it's not just about feeling bad. We're talking about the hidden damage of these low-protein, calorie-restricted diets. This is where we get into why you end up losing muscle, not just fat.
So you have to ask yourself, when that number on the scale goes down, what are you actually losing? Because the answer to that is everything for your long-term success. We all hope it's just fat, but the truth is, when your body is starved for calories and especially protein, it gets desperate for fuel. And you know what it starts to burn? Your own muscle. Okay, check this out. This study from 2005 is a real wake-up call. Look at the low-protein group. They lost about 17 pounds, but a staggering 35% of that loss was muscle. That's your metabolic engine just disappearing. Now look at the group that had high protein and exercised. They lost more weight overall, almost 22 pounds, and only 6% of it was muscle. I mean, that is a night and day difference. And here is why that matters so much. Losing muscle is literally the fastest way to slow down your metabolism. See, muscle is what burns calories, even when you're just resting. When you lose it, you're making it harder and harder to lose weight in the future. You've essentially slowed down your body's furnace. And this is the trap. You've now created a body that's better at storing fat and worse at burning it. And reversing that damage, getting your metabolism back up to speed, that can take months. So, if the old way doesn't work, what do? Well, it's about a completely different approach. It's about shifting our focus from restriction to rejuvenation. And this really lays it out. Instead of just counting calories, think about nourishment. Instead of just restricting, think about stopping inflammation. It's not about enduring a diet. It's about cellular repair. And forget about good versus bad foods. It's about learning to listen to your own body. So what is this new approach? It's called a cellular reset. And really, it's a temporary program. The whole point is to eliminate common foods that cause inflammation, and instead give your body super nutrient-dense foods. The goal? To reduce that inflammation and heal your gut. And this leads to one of the most powerful ideas in nutrition today: food as information. The idea here is that what you eat can literally change your body's programming. See, food isn't just fuel to be burned, it's actually a set of instructions for your body. There's a whole science behind this called nutrigenomics, and it's all about how food can turn your good genes on and your bad genes off. Think of it like this. The food you eat can either flip a switch for health or can flip a switch for disease. You get to choose. And what does this journey look like? Well, pretty quickly, in just 3 to 5 days, inflammation starts to drop. You might notice your energy and sleep get better.
Within a week or 10 days, your blood sugar can stabilize, your skin might get clearer, and yeah, a lot of people lose a few kilos. But the real magic happens over the next 1 to 3 months as your genes literally shift, and these new, healthy habits just become second nature.
And you can expect a lot of changes beyond just weight loss. We're talking rejuvenated skin, way better digestion with less bloating, better concentration, and just stable energy all day. It can even help with your immunity, sleep, and hormonal balance. It's really a total body upgrade.
Okay, and this brings us to the final and maybe the most important part. This is all about discovering your body's own unique manual. It's about you becoming the scientist of your own health.
So, after you do this reset period, you don't just go back to eating whatever you want, and you don't stay on a super restrictive diet forever. Instead, you start the most critical phase, the reintroduction.
And it's a really simple 4-day cycle. On day 1, you test just one food group, like rice, in a small amount. Then, for the next 2 days, if you didn't have a bad reaction, you eat a normal amount of it and just listen. How does your body feel? Then, on day 4, you confirm. If everything feels good, that food is probably a pass for you. Then you just move on to the next food you want to test.
You see what's happening here. This is a scientific experiment, and the subject is you. You're not following someone else's rules. You're finding the perfect diet for your unique body.
So, in the end, what is the true right answer? Well, it's different for everyone, and the only way to find it is to figure out what works for your body. It's not about finding the perfect diet plan out there. It's about creating your own.